Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're joining me for the very first time, my name is Fajira. I'm so happy to have you in my beautiful family. And for my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos, for always sharing my videos. I really do appreciate. And if you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do not forget to hit on that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you are going to be the very first person to see that video. And for my new subscribers that have just joined my family, I just want to say thank you. Trust me, you guys will not regret this journey with me. Let's quickly dive right into today's video. So guys, as promised that I was going to share how you can make your CV more professional to attract employers. So I'm going to share that with you in this video using healthcare CV as a case study. So if you're someone who is interested to see how you can make your CV more professional to attract employers, do watch this video right to the end. So in as much as CV covers almost everything about ourselves, we don't expect our CVs to cover our family background, nor cover our religion or what we do outside work. We expect our CV to be professional, well detailed, informative, and also give out that information an employer is looking out for. So in today's video, I'm using a healthcare CV as a case study. So how you should organize your CV in a way that employers will see it and invite you for an interview. So first thing you have to do on your CV when organizing your CV, so make sure that your personal details are well bold on your CV, because it's from your personal details that you will be contacted for an interview if you are shortlisted. Okay, when I mean your details, your personal details involves your name, your phone number, your email address, your name, the way your name appears on your certificates or in any which way you want it to appear, and your phone number. Ensure that the phone number on your CV, you add your country dialing code. Let me use a UK dialing code for an example, +44. So because if you don't add that code to your number on your CV, you may not be contacted because they may not know the right code to use because they are not sure of the country you are applying for a job from. Then your email is another thing an employer looks out for. So ensure that your email is a professional email. For instance, my name is Fajira. Let's say Fajira Ivanhoe at gmail.com. That is what I should expect on my professional email because that is the name I'm answering. But I also have another email like ejiraforreal at gmail.com. And I make sure that I don't use that email for any professional thing I'm doing. So what am I trying to say? If you have any of those emails that is not professional, putting your first name and your last name or any which way together, try and open an email now. It doesn't cost anything to open a professional email. For instance, if your name is Jack John, you can just put jackjohn at gmail.com. And on your CV, your name is actually Jack John. But for instance, if your name is Jack John and you go and put on your CV, jackfineboy at gmail.com, and you want to use that CV for a job interview, it will be difficult for an employer to shortlist your name for an interview. So ensure that your email on your CV is a professional email. So always put your CV available to relocate if you're someone who is willing to relocate. And in this case, I know that there are lots of people that are willing to relocate. So at the top of your CV, ensure that you add available to relocate. Available to relocate is to let the employer know that this candidate is willing to relocate to anywhere. So it may put you on a preference like, yeah, this person is willing to relocate, and whereas this person is not willing to relocate, they may want to contact wherever that is available to relocate even before the other people that did not fill out anything. So you giving them that little bit of information creates an awareness like, oh, this CV we are dealing with, this person is available to relocate, so let's contact that person. So just put it at the top, available to relocate if you want to, or willing to relocate, any which way. But if you're someone who is willing to relocate, ensure that you put that on your CV. So when the employer sees your CV, they will know that you are actually willing to relocate. So the next point after you have done that is your professional profile. Your professional profile is like a summary of your CV and also a place where you sell yourself. You have to sell yourself on your professional profile. Not so long, not so short, but brief and straightforward. I'm going to show you a sample of that at the end, before the end of this video, so you can see what I mean by that. Then the next thing that should come up on your CV is your core skills. Any skills you have gotten in line with your career, you have to put that skill there. The next one after your core skills is your career history. Career history is your work experience from when you started your journey till date. So if the only job you're doing now is what you have actually done in the whole of your life as a work experience, ensure you put the dates. And if there is any voluntary job you have done, ensure that you also put it as a work history or put it on your career experience. Also, if you have served an IT in any organization, make sure that you put that on your CV. But remember, if you're writing a CV for a job, ensure that the CV you're writing is tailored to the job you're applying for. The job description on the advert should be relevant to what you have got on your CV. So after you have put in your work experience, then make sure that the last job you're doing should be the very first one you put on your CV. I'm going to show you a sample of a healthcare CV so you can see that and also use it to organize your own, but I'm just breaking it down before I show you the sample. So the next thing that will come after your career history should be your education and qualifications. Yeah, education and qualifications now is if you have gotten SSE, education you have gotten BSc, Masters, PhD, whatever education you have gotten, and your qualifications, ensure that you put it on your CV. Ensure that you put it on your CV. But for instance, if you have gotten a qualification in catering and you are applying for a job as an accountant, I wouldn't add it because it doesn't really align with what I am applying for. So make sure you take out that particular bit. Ensure, but if you have done catering, health and safety, food handling, control of substances hazardous to health, anything that is related to care, we advise that you put that in your education and qualification. But if you notice that some of the qualifications you have gotten does not match with the job you are applying for, my advice is that don't bother adding it there so it doesn't complicate things for you. It's good to add, but look at the experience you have got and look at the qualification you have got and look at the job you're going for. So for you to stand a better chance of being invited for an interview, try to make sure that everything on your CV is matching with the job you are applying for. And the next one on my list is additional information. Additional information could be, oh, you're good at IT, you know how to use Microsoft Word, you know how to use Excel, you know how to use any other thing, technical things you know that you've worked with, or any other IT things you know you have worked with, can come in the additional skill just to like boost your application. So, but if you don't have any of those additional information, do not bother, just leave it blank and move to the next one. It's not a must that you must have an additional information, but if you have any, if you know how to use a laptop, ensure that you sell yourself there, that you're very good at Microsoft Excel, you're good at PowerPoint presentation. You can just put that as the additional information on your CV. And the last but not the least is your references. So I've seen some CVs because I used to conduct interviews for my company where I work, and I used to go through CVs. So I've seen some CVs that they have the names of their references on the CV, and for me, I don't think it's needed. And due to data protection, I think a lot of people will not want their full name, their contact number to be reflected on another person's CV. So I would advise that when you're writing your CV, ensure that your references are not on your CV. Don't allow your references to be on your CV. Just put it on available on request. And like I said, any CV you're writing for yourself should be tailored according to the job you're going for. You cannot be writing a CV on a bank. For instance, you are an accountant in a bank and you're applying for a healthcare job, and you bring in your banking experience into the healthcare. Trust me, they are not going to invite you for an interview. A lot of people are saying, oh, they didn't accept the application in the last videos I uploaded. But a lot of people also come back to me to say, oh, thank you, my application went through. So I don't know what you may have done on your CV. So I would advise that just go back and check your CV again and see if the CV is tailored into the job you're applying for. Look at for some keywords that are on the job description and see how you can incorporate that with your CV, because that's a very good way that even when the company is shortlisting names and they do their search, your name, because you have added some of the keywords on the job description, definitely bring up your CV to be shortlisted. But a situation whereby you don't have any of those keywords that is on the job description on your CV will not be shortlisted and you will not be invited for an interview. And then you will think that, oh, the company does not want you. But there are some key things that you need to do for yourself before you put yourself out there. So make sure your CV, like I said, is tailored with the job description, which is why it is important to always share the same identity of yourself across all your social media. For instance, your LinkedIn account. If I am inviting somebody for an interview, sometimes I used to go and check the LinkedIn account to see if everything is the same with what I have on the CV. So ensure, if you're someone that has a LinkedIn account and you're watching this video, try and go back to your LinkedIn account and see if everything you have put about yourself is on your LinkedIn account. Because if you don't check that and you bring a different CV for a job and you have something different on your LinkedIn account, definitely an employer will not call you. So no employer will call you when you've got these two different identities. It's good to share the same identity on your social media platform, anywhere you've put your name, because employers used to check. And the most common places they check is your LinkedIn account to see if it's the same thing or you're lying. So ensure that whatever you have put out there on your LinkedIn account is tailored to your CV. So in case an employer picks up your CV and wants to check you out without your notice, they will see that, oh, this person has put out this and it's exactly the same thing. Okay, let's invite this person for an interview, and you'll be invited for an interview. So you do that. Then your CV should not be more than 2 pages. Irrespective of anything you're writing, ensure that your CV is not more than 2 pages. Let it be maximum of 2 pages, because nobody wants to sit and be reading 3-4 pages of CV. What are you reading? The main thing is a brief history about yourself on your CV, and when you're invited for an interview, you have the opportunity to say more things about yourself, more things you have learned, more of your experiences, and so on. Then the next thing you have to be sure of is to submit your CV as a PDF. Don't submit it as a Microsoft Word. The reason is because when you submit your CV as a Microsoft Word and maybe the company is downloading, there may be a mistake and some things you have written on your CV may be missing. But if you save it as a PDF, everything is intact. So when the company is downloading your CV, everything you have said about yourself is intact. Nothing has been misspelled. Nothing has been taken out. So you don't need to put your date of birth. People have sent me CV, and first thing I say, date of birth, so day, community address. You put your home address on your CV. You put your references address and their phone number. You put your religion on your CV. You put your marital status. No, in the UK, if you're submitting such CV, you will not be called for a job interview. You will not even be shortlisted for that job interview. So ensure that you don't have things like your date of birth on your CV. Ensure you don't have your religion on your CV or your marital status on your CV. Your family should not be on your CV. There should not be any picture on your CV. Your hobbies should not be on your CV. Oh, I love traveling. For instance, if I see a CV of somebody and the CV says that I love traveling, in my mind, I'm already thinking that this person, if I employ this person, in the next few weeks, this person is booking a holiday. So if you love traveling, keep it to yourself. It shouldn't be the first thing you should sell out as your hobby. Don't put any hobby on your CV. So ensure that that is kept away from your CV. So when you have done all of this and you have put down your CV in a presentable way, you will see that employers will come for you. When it comes to your career history, which is your job, your work experiences, I know that you may have worked in a different organization, but try to make sure that the work history, the experiences you've put on your work history, your duties and responsibilities you have put on your work history. One advice I'm going to give to you today is look out for the job description for the particular role you're applying for. Look at the things they are looking for on the job description and try and fix that into your work history, into your responsibilities. If you're in the health line or if you're in the health career, most of the things you will find on a healthcare CV are similar things to what you are doing already. But the problem is you may not have put your own in the word that they have put on the job description. So it is very important that when you're applying for a job, because you may have done something very similar to what the company is advertising, try to use in their words, their own keywords, and edit your CV with that. Because if you're in the health line, it is similar thing but worded in different ways. So to put you in a better place of getting this job, use their own keywords and edit your own responsibilities and duties. So once you have used that job description they've published to amend your CV, you will notice that when the employer is calling for an interview, when they are doing shortlisting process, your name, your CV will pop up because you have got those keywords on their job descriptions in your work experience, in responsibilities and duties. So guys, I'm just going to take you through a healthcare CV. So we're just going to look at that now together so you can see exactly what I mean. So guys, like I said, that I'm going to use this care assistant CV sample as an example of what I just explained in this video. So if you look at this CV, let me just go down so you can see that this is just a 2-page CV. Yeah, it's not more than 2 pages, it's just a 2-page CV. And like I said, employers want to see a very brief CV but straight to the point. So if you look at this CV, Sarah Vickers, and she has put her job title care assistant, and if you look at it, you can see her location is in London and telephone number. So she has used a normal telephone number without the country code. That's because she's in the UK and she's actually applying for a job in the UK. But if she's applying for a job outside the UK, she will have to remove this 0 and put +44 7111 blah blah blah. Then if you look at the email, you can see that her email is sarahvickers@example.co.uk. So it could be sarahvicker@gmail.co.uk. So imagine she having Sarah Vic or Sarah baby girl or Sarah beautiful girl at gmail.com. No employer is going to invite her for an interview. So when you see this area, ensure that this particular part, you put out a professional information here, like your email and your location. You don't need to put your postcode or your address, your full address. You can just say Coventry, London, Manchester, any city you are, and you will be contacted. So remember I made mention about available to relocate. For me, I would advise that if you're available to relocate, you can just put that like a heading at the top of your CV. So when an employer sees this kind of CV, an employer will know that, oh, this person is available to relocate. So you can put that as a heading. I don't think Sarah is available to relocate. That's why she has not put it. But try and put that if you're available to relocate or willing to relocate. Just try and put that at the head. So the professional profile, like I earlier said, is where you will sell yourself a bit. Just like she has said, she's a conscientious care assistant with expertise in the provision of exemplary care to maintain the health, safety, and development of elderly parents, often with complex health care needs. So, just as she has said, with the extensive knowledge of healthcare services, is highly experienced in the delivery of individual care plans, whilst working in conjunction with community and local authority teams. So, you see the way she has outlined hers. You can use this to like make your own CV. Then, when it comes to the core skills, if you have got similar skills, you can also use something similar like this: mental health support, vulnerable adult support, anyhow you want to put yours based on what experiences you have got. So if you see the career summary, which I mentioned, career summary is as well the work experiences you must have gained in your career. So if you see that she has put career summary, the Granary Bristol Senior Care Assistant, the company where she's working to present. So she started this job in 2017 and she's still doing it to present. So like I mentioned earlier on, that your recent job should be at the top with your key responsibilities. So providing high standard of care for elderly patients with a focus on everyday care such as personal hygiene, mental stimulation, and general well-being. So these are her key responsibilities that she has listed. So let me pause a bit and explain a little bit about these key responsibilities. So these key responsibilities are things she has done as a senior care assistant in her place of work. So why I mentioned that if you're in the care field or you're in the care line, most of the things that Sarah have done will be most likely similar to what you're doing, depending on the line of health where you're working. When you're applying for a job, try and edit your CV in a way that this area, these key responsibilities, is going to align with the job advert description. So look at the job advert description and try to tailor it to your key responsibilities, which is basically what you're doing presently, to show the employer that what they have advertised is what you're doing presently and you can continue to do it because you've had that experience. If she has mentioned something that is outside the key responsibility and the description of the job she wants to apply for, they may not invite her because it's not tailored into the job description. So always look at your job description before you carry on to edit your CV around this area. Ensure that whatever you're filling out here are things that are in line with the job description. If you see that key achievements are things that she must have done excellently, assisted patients throughout the assessment process and provided them with all relevant education with increased positive relative feedback by 50%. So you can add the key achievements, whatever you must have achieved in course of carrying out these responsibilities. Try and put that in this section as well, just to make the employer to see your CV attractive, informative, and useful, and be invited for an interview. Come down, you can see that she has worked again at Bristol Care Association, which she works as a healthcare provider. So she still got her responsibilities as well, and she works from April 2014 to January 2017. So this was her job. This was the job she was doing before she got this one to present. So look at, it's still similar thing too. Just ensure that all the responsibilities you have carried out in the past are well outlined here. So she put out a little bit about herself here, as you can see. You can just write a brief 2 lines of what you may have been doing in this job. Then you can now further go down to put your key responsibility, which is what she has done here. Then also your key achievements, what you have achieved in doing this job. So if you look at it, this is a page 1 of this CV, and you can see that she has already said a lot about herself. So you don't need a 4-page CV, you don't need a 5-page CV. This is another work experience that Sarah has got from January 2011 to April 2014. So you can see that the more recent job is at the top, then the one after that one is in the middle, and this one is the third one. So same thing she has done here. Ensure you put all your history. But trust me, if you're working in a bank and you are applying for this healthcare job, please don't add the banking thing here. Just forget about that and just put the history of me. You can put your IT training, for instance, if you're currently undergoing a training right now for you to be qualified to apply for this healthcare visa. Try and put that. If you have done any voluntary job in a care home or in a charity organization or in an orphanage or in the hospital, try and put that instead of going to put in that you are working in GT Bank and you worked as an assistant or salesperson and you are not applying for healthcare. No, you will not be invited for an interview. Try to make sure that everything on your CV is tailored to what the job advert is all about. So if you come down below, you can see that she has done the same thing. So all her work history is on this page. So if you go down, you see almost everything about Sarah. So let's come down here, her education and qualification. You can see that Sarah has an NVQ level 2. And she also have health and safety care training center 2009. So ensure that your dates of these achievements are also in the section where you're putting them. And she has A levels, and she said she also have health and social care biology business studies from St. Brendan's Sixth Form College 2002. So you can see that she has put the dates. Ensure that you put the dates of your achievements as well, the qualifications in this section. The professional development, health and safety training, fire safety training, food hygiene certificate. So remember in my other video, I mentioned some of the certificates that you can do to boost your CV. So which is where that has come to play here. You can see that she has put that as a professional development. Then, additional information, IT skills. She has said that she's got Microsoft Office, including Word and Excel. So tell me that an employer will see this CV and want to invite Sarah because they know that they will not struggle to start teaching Sarah how to use Microsoft Word. They will just employ her. Additional information. Sarah have mentioned to the employer that full clean driving license stroke CRB check. So full clean driving license. A lot of care homes, I said that in one of my videos, that a lot of care homes are looking for people with full driving license check. So CRB check is a criminal check, especially when you're doing any social care job or you're working as a healthcare provider or an assistant. You must go through this CRB check, which is also known as police check in other countries. So she has already mentioned that she has full clean driving license and also CRB check. So with this kind of information that Sarah has given out about herself, tell me why the employer will not invite her for an interview. So this is a reference where I said that you should put it as an available on request, because in the UK you don't just give out people's details. Even if they say give her, you have to be careful because of data protection. So when this company has invited Sarah, they won't just contact your reference. So you don't really need that reference details in your CV. You don't need to put that reference because it doesn't have anything to do with your CV at this point. It's only when you have gotten the job and they want people to reference you, that is when it will be needed. So guys, let's quickly come back to the end of this video. So like I said, that you can see that this is a 2-page, that was a page 1, and this is page 2. So in a brief words, this lady has explained almost everything about herself. And remember, she didn't mention where she's from. She didn't mention her religion. She didn't mention if she was married. She didn't mention anything. She just went straight to the professional way of writing the CV. Okay, so guys, we've actually come to the end of this video. And like I said, this demonstration can be used in any type of job. It's not only for healthcare jobs. I just use healthcare as a case study because that's where most of the questions have been coming from. So even if you're going for a job interview as an accountant, as a project manager, you can still use, or as a planner, or as a customer service representative, you can still use this format, but ensure that when writing that CV, look at the job description adverts. Whatever the employer has put out, that's what they are looking for, and you have relevant skill. Maybe, like I said, you may not have put yours in their word, but try to see how you can incorporate theirs into your CV, and you're good to go. Trust me, no employer will find those keywords that they have advertised on their description, on their job description, and we see that you have them on your CV and will not invite you for an interview. So most of you that have been coming back to me telling me that, oh, my application was rejected, blah blah blah, please go back and look at your CV and see if there is anywhere you're missing, because they won't tell you that it's because of your CV. They won't come and say, oh, because your CV is, they expected you to have made sure that your CV is in order. I hope this video you find it helpful and very useful in the future. And above all, I wish you good luck in your job search and also your job application and also your interview process. I wish you all the luck you need to scale through this process. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video till now and you haven't subscribed to join this beautiful family, what are you waiting for? Hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a video, you are going to be the very first person to see that video. Bye for now and see you in my next video.